So in the last class, I was trying to basically talk about this enterprise structure terminologies, what we are going to be using, and what is the functionality of each and every particular term. And apart from that, I was trying to mention who will be responsible for doing a particular configuration on SAP platform. So like what exactly an FI consultant job role is going to be all about, MM consultant and sales consultant who will be responsible to create a particular organizational unit. And in today's class, we try to start working out with the enterprise structure configuration practically on SAP application, where we try to create all the organizational units one by one. We try to maintain the link and we try to perform all the transaction and the master data related to that. So enterprise structure configuration. Now in this particular enterprise structure configuration, I'm trying to take one business, and that particular business, I'm trying to name it as Vivo Mobiles. Now let's say there's a company. For this particular business, let's say they want to go for SAP implementation, and they picked one implementation partner who can provide services. So let's say we have a company on the name of Wipro who is trying to implement SAP for this particular business, Vivo Mobiles. Now we try to build the entire enterprise structure from all the modules, the organizational units required from FI, MM, SD, LE. And we try to make sure whatever things are required from FI, MM, and LE, we try to look into that. SD, we try to complete everything. What all things as an SD consultant we are going to be doing in the real time, we put down all that particular things. In FI, MM, and LE, whatever the things are required for cross-module integration, only those organizational units we are going to be creating it up. Okay, now I'm just trying to start doing the configuration for this particular business, and how exactly we try to take it of it step by step. We try to explore it. Now, once you try to log in into SAP, we have this particular screen getting displayed, which we name it as SAP Easy Access screen. From this particular screen, try to get into the backend by executing a transaction code SPR. Your total enterprise structure configuration is going to be part of backend, where SAP consultants are going to be responsible to map it. Now, before you develop this particular enterprise structure as a consultant, you are going to be conducting workshops. In that particular workshops, you are going to be interaction. These workshops are nothing but interaction with the business owners or department heads. You collect the data. In that workshops, you're going to be collecting the data, and once you collect that particular data, based on that only, this enterprise structure configuration is going to be built up. Okay, so here I'm trying to work out with the entire configuration. So run SPRO. This how the screen is going to be looking. Whatever project has been allocated to you, that project name will be shown up. As of now, we are working on a test demo application. You can't find this particular information. So select the project with the help of selection blocks, and then try to click on SAP reference IMG, and this will be taking us to the backend application, where as a consultant you are going to be performing and working in this particular page. And I was trying to explain IMG stands for implementation guide, and no access will be provided for end user to work on this particular page. It's going to be always under the control of consultants. And here you can see this is nothing but, we try to call it as a menu bar, where we have different options available to perform different activities. And this is what we try to call it as footer. In this footer right now, I'm trying to display my system number. If you don't want system number, if you want your username, you can select it. Or if you want program name, you can select it. If you want transaction code, you can put down. So for your identification purpose, in which screen you're trying to work, better you try to maintain T code. If you don't want T code, you don't want to see it, you can close it. Okay, it's totally depend upon you what information need to be displayed at the footer. So I'm just trying to maintain it as a T code over here so that you can easily understand in which screen we are trying to work. And right now you can find this one, enterprise structure. And if you want to know what this enterprise structure means, there is an documentation available. Hit on this particular documentation and you're going to be getting some notes. So how to configure this enterprise structure? What you mean by this enterprise structure? There are certain notes which has been published by SAP. You can read it. You can get to know the functionality of it. Okay. So here I'm just trying to close this one. It's not that only for enterprise structure you're going to be finding it. For different organizational units also you're going to be finding it out. And if you want to get into the details of this enterprise structure, if you double click on it, it will be not getting opened. If you want to get into the details, try to expand it with the help of this nodes. These are nothing but we name them as nodes. Expand the node and you're going to be finding different options to work. So your total enterprise structure is going to be divided into two parts. Your total enterprise structure is going to be made up of two parts. Part one, we are going to be calling it as definitions, and part two, assignments. Part one and part two. Part one, we try to define organizational units. What all organizational units were required for the business, we try to create it. For example, these are the things what we are going to be creating it. Company code, sales organization, plant, store location. We are going to be defining each and everything. Once you define, we try to assign. We try to maintain the link between one organizational unit with other one for the data flow and for cross-module integration functionality to be mapped. So we are trying to deal with the first one, which is going to be definition. And again, if you try to expand it, then only you can get into the details of it. And under definition, you can see we have different modules to work. So each consultant will be logging into their particular space and they try to build the application accordingly. Okay. So here again, we are trying to start doing the configuration from financial accounting module side onwards. So your finance department or the finance consultant is going to be responsible for doing the configuration under finance. Then we have CO, we have logistics general, followed by sales and distribution, material management, LE, PM, HR. We are going to be working only in few selected areas, not all. Whatever things are required for SD integration, we focus on that. Like, let me try to start doing from sales. Instead of working with finance as an SD consultant, what exactly we try to perform in the real time, we try to finish up that. So when you try to expand the sales and distribution, we have different options. We try to create a sales organization, distribution channel, sales office, and a sales group. In the real time, in any implementation project, this is what an SD consultant will be doing under definitions. Perform 4 steps. We learn how to create these things. And if you want to know what the sales and distribution means, there is a documentation available. You can hit on it and you can read it. And again, in the same way, if you want to know the functionality of the sales organization, hit on the documentation, you get the notes. You can read it, get to know the functionality in depth. Now, starting with the first one, we try to go for creating a sales organization. Define, copy, delete, check, sales org. And when you hit on it, we have this particular screen getting popped up. So you can find two options to deal with: define, copy. You're not going to be working out with copy. No copy. We try to create it straight away because we don't have anything called as dependent interest. So we don't copy. We work with the first option, define sales organization. And once you hit on enter, this of the screen is So right now in my server, I'm having how many entries? Only 2 entries. So, and the code for it is going to be of how many letters? Maximum 4 letters. So you can maintain the length not more than 4 letters. It should be less than 4 letters or maximum of 4 letters, which is going to be alphanumerical combination. Alphanumerical alphabets are going to be used over here. If you want only alphabets or only numerics, it's also going to be accepted. Now, how to create it? If you want to maintain anything, try to click on new entries icon. If you want to create, click on new entries icon, and this up the page is going to be looking where we need to fill in the data in the fields. These are nothing but we name them as fields. Please remember, we are going to be naming them as fields. In these fields, we are going to be capturing the information. To capture this data, we are going to be collecting the information from the business and we put down that values over here. So right now I'm trying to create a sales log on the name of VO36. This is a code what I'm trying to maintain. The reason for that, VO represent your Vivo company and 36 represent state code. For each state, we have a code maintained which has been provided by our GST Council. For Telangana, it is going to be 36. For different state, we have different codes maintained. And I'm trying to maintain it as Vivo Telangana sales. This is what I'm trying to maintain. Okay, this particular sales stock is going to be taking care of sales in this particular location. So what I'm trying to do, state specific, I'm trying to maintain one sales organization which will be covering that particular geographical location. So maintain the code, maintain the description for that. Don't maintain any values in this particular fields at the moment. Leave all the fields as blank. We pick up individual topic, we put down the values and we try to check the effect of it. And for this particular sales organization, we have an address which need to be maintained. And this is a tab for maintaining the address. In case without maintaining the address, if you are trying to save, this is the icon to save. Try to save it, or you can use shortcut Control S. You're going to be getting this particular message getting popped up. System is asking us to capture the address for this particular sales organization and try to make sure you fill in all the information. So here I'm trying to maintain the title as company. I'm trying to maintain it as Vivo Telangana. And search term, I'm trying to maintain it as VO36 for searching the data. Some address, try to capture it. So I'm just trying to maintain street number 3. So CDC road, house number, and then we have postal code information followed by city, country, and region. So here you need to put down all the regions. So once you try to select a country, the regions maintained in that will be shown up. And right now you can see in my system there is no regions maintained. I'm working out with a new server where there is no regions which has been inserted. So let me try to quickly maintain some regions and we try to take it from there. So normally when you install SAP, country along with region codes are going to be shown up. No need to worry about that. So in case if that entries are not installed, we can do that. It's normally your finance and HR team who will be making sure these regions are put down in the system. So here I'm trying to take the help of new entries and I'm trying to maintain it. 36 Telangana. I'm trying to maintain 37, which is going to be Andhra Pradesh. Like this, you can maintain number of things and try to save it. So in your system, you will be finding all state codes has been put down. Nothing to worry about it. You can use that. So here I'm trying to maintain that particular region. So if you once you select country, states maintained for that particular country will be shown up. And as of now, I maintain two entries, 36 and 37. So right now I'm trying to maintain it as 36. And if you want to capture the address in more detailed manner, you can click on more fields icon. Okay, now for example, if you try to click on this more fields, you can capture building code, room number, floor number, care of, all this particular information. So as an LC consultant, we collect this particular data from the business and we put down that information in this particular fields. So close this one. And if you try to scroll down, this PO box numbers are not required. So communication tab, where you can put down the language, telephone number, mobile number, fax, email address, as many values you can capture, you can do that. And there is an option called as preview. So if you click on this print preview, this is a format in which the address of your sales organization is going to be getting printed. You can have a check of it. You can have a check of it and you can click on copy. So once you click on this copy icon, then only these values will be getting updated against our entry VO36. Now see, try to click on copy. You're going to be getting this request. We try to call it as a transport request, and it plays a very important role in data transportation activities. Transport request. This is basically used to move the data. To move the data from server to server or from client to client. Now right now we are working with 810 in my system. So if you want to move the values from 800 to 810 or from 810 to 811, we try to take the help of transport request. Or if you want to move the data from development server to quality server, from quality server to production server, we take the help of this transport request. So we try to call this one as data transportation activities. And this data transportation activities will be performed by your SAP Basis team. They handle it. So whenever you try to do the configuration, right now we are trying to store configuration data. So there's a terminology what you need to adapt. We are trying to store what data? Configuration data. Okay. So this configuration data will be stored where? In the transport request. And there are going to be two types of transport requests to work. So you're going to be having two types of transport requests. One, we call it as customization request, and second, workbench request. Now, how to identify what is the type of request you're trying to work? By default, the description is going to be getting displayed. Okay, no need to do anything. You will be finding the description. This is the request number. This is the description of the request. These request numbers are going to be getting popped up automatically, and it will be maintained by your basis department. Okay. So in a project, you are going to be maintaining number of requests which will be used for storing different data. Now, right now we are going to be working with customizing request, workbench request. When we deal with pricing, we try to explore it. And if you want to create a new request, now see, first of all, I can't use this particular request. This has been used for a particular functionality. If you want to create a new request, try to click on this particular icon. We call it as create request icon. Anytime, if you want to create a request, hit on it. It will be taking us to a new page. Here, we try to maintain the description. So here I'm trying to make it as a Vivo enterprise structure. So your total enterprise structure, we try to store in this particular request. The request number is going to be getting popped up automatically. You can find the owner, on which date it has been created on, in which client it has been created on. You can find all that information getting popped up. So try to save it. So there is a request number, description of the request, request type, and try to click on continue. Done. Your data was saved. Sales arc has been created. Description has been maintained for that. And if you try to click on this address tab, we have updated the address as well for it. This is the first thing what you need to do in the application. So try to go for creation of a sales organization. And one more thing, I'm just trying to put a note over here. Transport request. Transport request will be displayed only in display IMG screen. Transport request will be displayed only in IMG screen. If you are working on SAP Easy Access screen, you're not going to be finding request. Only consultants will be having the access to create it. And please try to make sure you're going to be maintaining some documentations. So under sales and distribution, we have created an organizational unit on the name of sales organization. So with I maintain it as VO36, which will be taking care of sales in Telangana state. There's a code and the description what I try to maintain for that. Now, once you create this one, come back. So there's a back option as well. You can hit on it, close it, and try to work out with the second step, where we try to go for creation of distribution channel, customers. So every company will be having their own set of customers, and that customers are going to be categorized. As wholesaler, retailer, bulk buyer, we have different set of people. So I'm going to be creating around 2 distribution channel, 2 groups of customers to whom we are going to be selling the product. Now, to create, we try to hit on this icon, define, copy, delete, check, distribution channel. When you hit on it, we have 2 options to work, define, copy. Again, we are not going to be copying it, we are going to be creating it. So hit on define distribution channel, and we have this particular screen getting displayed. Right now you can find the code for distribution channel is going to be of 2 letters. For different organizational units, we have different code length. For this, we have only 2 letters. It can't exceed more than 2 letters. And this is a description maintained for that. Now, I'm going to be creating a 2 distribution channels. So I'm trying to take the help of new interest. I'm trying to maintain it as V1. V1, I'm trying to call it as dealers. And V2, I'm trying to maintain it as a distributor. So like this, how many distribution channels you want to create, you can go for it. Here I'm trying to work out with B2B concept, where I'm trying to pick up V1 and V2 and try to save it. So same request, use it for storing the information, hit on continue and done. So data was saved, distribution channels has been created. So V1 and V2 is the code I'm maintaining it. So this is going to be the second step, distribution channel. V1 and V2. V1 dealers and V2 is going to be distributors. Now then comes the third step, where we try to go for working out with sales office, point of contact. So if company want to sell any particular product, they require a sales office. So company branch offices, stores, outlets, we try to map it as a sales office, which is nothing but a physical geographical location. We try to call it as a physical geographical location, where customer can come down to the company, interact with the salesperson, get to know about a particular product, and they can go for placing an order. So sales office is nothing but point of contact. Now, how to create the sales office? Now, how many sales office a business can have means multiple. There is no limitation. Okay. So here I'm trying to create one sales office. So if you try to hit on it, maintain sales office. Always you need to hit on the timer icons. If you're trying to click on the definition, it is not going to be working. And these timer icons are what we call it IMG activities. So click on the sales office, maintain sales office, and this how the screen is going to be looking. And you can see the code for sales office is going to be of 4 letters. Maximum length is of 4 letters. And to create, I'm trying to take the help of new interest icon. And here I'm trying to maintain it as V001. Let's say this is the code I'm maintaining it. In Hyderabad, I'm having one store at a particular location. And once you click on enter, it will be asking us to capture the address of that particular sales organization. You can go for maintaining the address of it. So you need to make sure all this particular information, again, you're going to be collecting it from the business and you try to maintain that information. So how many stores a particular company is having, all that particular store's information are going to be captured. And again, if you want to check out the preview, you can do that one. Try to click on continue option over here. Click on copy. So these values are going to be getting updated again this particular entry and try to save it. So click on save. We got our request. Try to click on continue and sales office has been created. So how many sales office you want to go for it? You can. You can maintain second one, maintain the description, add the address, save that particular entry. Okay. So as of now, I'm just trying to create one sales organization, sales office to work on the name of V1, which will be taking care of selling the products. So this is going to be our third step, what we have done. Sales office, where we have created it on the name of V001. So each and every organizational unit is going to be represented by a code. Please remember it. Then comes the next one, where we try to go for creation of sales group. So people who work in the sales office are going to be divided into teams. We name them as groups. In that groups, you are going to be finding salespersons working who will be taking care of sales. Now I'm trying to create this particular sales group. If you come back, and this is going to be the fourth step, maintain sales group. And when you hit on it, maintain sales group, once again click on this IMG activity. We have this particular screen getting displayed. Now create the groups. Take the help of new interests. So I'm trying to create one group over here. Let's say VS1. I'm just trying to maintain it in a general way. One group will be taking care of sales. Another group I'm trying to create which take care of service. I'm just trying to maintain. If you want to maintain your area manager name, you can also do that. Now, for example, sales will be handled John in one location. I'm just trying to maintain Telangana state or in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, this is a person who will be handling it. Like in VS3, I'm going to be creating sales only. Okay, so I'm going to be creating one more. So here I'm trying to maintain sales. Peter. Now Peter will be taking care of selling the products in Secunderabad location. So I can divide them. Area manager name, you can put it as a sales groups, or in general, if you want to maintain it, you can. So maintain it and try to save it. So same request, try to click on continue and done. So these are my three groups what I've created. VS1, VS2, VS3. So this is a configuration what we have executed. Okay. So sales group has been created and maintained as well. So these are the 4 steps what as an SD consultant we do in the real time. We are going to be creating sales org, distribution channel, sales office, and the sales group. Please remember that. And none of this has been copied. We have created. We picked up new interests and we make sure all this particular values has been updated. So this is a activity we do as a part of definition by SD department, creation of these 4 organizational units. So like this, you are going to be finding different consultants will be performing different job roles. So once you're done with the sales and distribution, I'm trying to start working out with your financial accounting module, where FI consultant need to configure certain organizational units. And under this, there are going to be a lot of steps. We are not going to be working with all these particular steps. We try to learn how to go for creation of a company, a credit control area, and a company code. These are the only 3 steps we work. Only 3 steps. And this activity in the real time will be maintained by the finance. Right now in our class, we don't have an FI consultant. We are trying to make sure these organizational units are set up so that our cross-module integration is going to be carried out. Okay. Now this particular part I'm going to be starting it tomorrow, not today. First try to finish off the sales and distribution model today. So tomorrow I try to teach you the financial accounting followed by controlling. We pick up different modules and we try to finish as much configuration as we can put down. So as is the first class for you people to work on practical sessions, please try to make sure you finish up this particular task. In case if you have not received the server access, please call your system administrator, get the server access and start doing the configuration for that.